Friends, lawnmower maintenance enthusiasts, lend me your ears. It's Darwin here with another video, and we're going to be changing out some switches. Boom! Yeah, on the old Toro Timecutter 50. It's an old mower I bought back in 2015. I've gotten 11 good years of service out of this mower, and we're gonna be changing the two switches that go under the handles. The handles go like this, and a zero turn, you ride it and drive it like this, and when you go out like that, it pushes these buttons in. And so when these buttons are pushed in and your PTO switch is off, you can get up off your mower and the mower will still run. However, mine doesn't do it because this particular switch, the one that was on the right side, was this one, and it's kind of old, 11 years old, and you can see how it kind of goes down crooked and everything. Well, it wouldn't press down correctly, and so we're switching that out. So I know switches are not as exciting as Switchfoot, you know. Welcome to the planet, welcome to existence. Everyone's here, everyone's here. Yeah, it's not Switchfoot, it's just switches. But if you're a lawn mower maintenance enthusiast, this video is for you. Enjoy. Got a couple of these little switches I'm gonna put on my old Timecutter 50. I got a new mower. I have a little time to work on this one. I took out this screw, and there's one right here. And I put them down here on a little tray on this new seat I got from a garage sale. Okay, I'm gonna take these screws out, these three right here, so I can move this board to give me some more flexibility to move this whole thing out. So I got these three screws out. So I'm gonna lay this over to the side. I'm gonna disconnect the battery too. I gotta get my deck welded because it's throwing debris all up in here. Here you go, disconnect that. Once you have that off, you can just lift this. I'm holding a camera with one hand, so it kind of explains how easy that is. And there you are. You're right here to where the switch is. Okay, there's the switch, and it's a safety switch, so you can start it, and then that pops up the little button right there. I'm gonna replace the whole switch. Turn down the music a little bit. Here's the button right here I'm replacing, and it pushes down right there with this, your transmission control, your steering on a zero turn. So I'm gonna get in there and switch it out. I think I'm gonna have to loosen this bolt or either take this whole piece out so that I can get this thing out, and I'll show you how it goes in there. It goes in there and it has these little squeeze things, and then it goes through this piece right here. But I need to take it out so that I can plug it into the wiring. I'm gonna use a 19 millimeter to loosen this. Yeah, I've loosened it some, and it's still not gonna pop out on its own. I'm gonna have to remove this whole piece. I got it out of there without taking the whole screw off. I just loosened it a little bit. So, okay, I'm fixing to unplug this one and plug in the other one. I noticed the old one had a little dust and grime right up here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a little bit of electrical tape right around here and see if it might help keep dirt and all from getting up in here. So I got the electrical tape on there. There it is. I went another route. I took actually the handle off here at the bolt in order to create enough room to put the plastic piece in. I'll take this screw out so that I can lift this up a little bit more. This shock holds it back. Here we go. I got this off so I can hopefully lift it up a little bit more. I hope I don't have to undo that too, but I need to get this up so that I can get the piece right here. I blew all this trash out to see what I'm working with. So I ended up loosening this. This has a bolt up under right here that you have to hold and then unscrew this, and then this will come out and it will lower that so I can get the piece in or lift it up. I got it in there now, and this is the way it goes in. It should be like this. So don't pull this all the way up and then put it in, or it will not come back down. So you got to have it down, put it in, and then you're good to go. So I've gone in reverse order. I got this bolt back tightened, and now I'm fixing to hook it back up to the shock. I pulled off the other cover, and it was much easier. 3 screws, but you had to take off the gas cap right here, pull it out, but I got it back on just so dirt will not get in there. And there it is right there. Now I'm going to replace the button on this side, and I'm going to just clean everything up. This is like 11 years of mowing and what it looks like. Okay, on this side, so far I've only taken this bolt out. Remember, you have a bolt on the inside that's right up under here on the inside. And so you got to hold that bolt and unscrew this one out here. Let me see if I can do everything. I got it off. I got the plastic piece out. As you see right here, I'm fixing to put the new one on. And this one actually is working, but since I'm already doing one, I'm gonna do the other one and save this as a backup. And this one's a little worn on the top. I can just feel that 11 years of wear and tear has rubbed it a little bit. Just like the other side, I found that it was a little bit of dirt in here. I'm going to put some electrical tape around this. All right, the left handle side, I got away with just taking this one bolt out, so I didn't have to do a lot. I maneuvered it back in, then I took a long screwdriver and reached behind it and just kind of pushed it in. It was kind of set sideways and it just turned in like this and went right in there. All right, a little easier on this side. The buttons are all on. I'm gonna clean this bad boy up. I think I'm gonna get the pressure washer out and clean these panels that cover all this, because they probably haven't been cleaned in 11 years. Before, after, pressure washed them off some. You can see that the panels are back on. Here's the other side. A couple other things I did. These seats right here are notorious for coming unglued. And so whenever I put it on my trailer, I would always have to bungee them down. After 11 years of this, I decided just to drill a couple of holes in right here and put a couple of zip ties here. I did the exact same thing here and here. So now my seat is back in place. Okay, there's the new button down there. And one of the problems on this side is whenever the handle is out like this, I was not able to get off the mower because it wouldn't push down the button far enough. So now when I stop and, you know, of course, set the PTO switch down where the blades aren't spinning, I can get off the mower and pick up some trash and the mower can still be running. So I'm glad to have that taken care of, because I was having to cut off my mower and then start it back up again. A word to the wise: if you buy a lawnmower, make sure it has a Kawasaki. Specifically, make sure it has a FR691V. This by far is the best motor out there, and it has been a great one, because this one, there's no telling how many hours I have on this. I wish I had a counter on it, because I have probably anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 hours on this motor. I had said earlier I needed to take it over to a friend's house and have it welded. You can see I've welded it here before. It's been welded here before, so we're gonna just reconstruct this whole side right here. We're gonna get it welded here and get a few smaller spots taken care of. This thing has probably been welded 5 or 6 times, just to give you an idea of how many hours this mower has mowed through the years. A lot of you that have these mowers, your deck looks like it's still brand new because I see them on Facebook Marketplace, but this one is the original deck, and it has been through it many hours. It is about ready for a new set of back tires. This is the second set, so I've been through one set already. Many oil changes, and then down here is the oil filter. Always change it, and it's been changed many times also. But this is a great motor, this Kawasaki. Also on the left side of the motor is the fuel filter, and make sure you change that out every now and then. In 11 years, I've been through probably 3 batteries. This is probably my 3rd battery. So if you take care of the batteries, keep it in the garage, keep it in a cool environment, keep a trickle charger on it whenever you're not using it, these batteries will last a long time. I think this is one from Sam's Club. These are some of the parts that I keep in my vehicle if I'm away from the house. And this is the pulley belt. And then this is the drive belt that goes around the motor. And they're pretty simple to put on. And then this is a extra fuel filter, fuel pump, and a couple other little things just to have in case something happens or breaks when you're trying to mow for a friend or anyone else. Which reminds me, I need to get those things for the new Icon. I just haven't done it yet, but I need to get those belts and a few other little things for this mower, so that I'll have them on hand too, because they take different belts than the old Toro Timecutter. This is the new one, the Aaron's, and like I said, make sure you get this motor. This is what they look like when they're new. This one had 22 hours on it. I'll do another video about this motor and mower later. Well, there you have it. The switches are switched out, and the seat is put back in place with some zip ties to hold it back in. I'm surprised Toro didn't have to issue new seats, because everyone that I know that has that mower, the seat came unglued. You always see them either roped down, taped down. You just couldn't glue them back down. But anyway, that's fixed, and I got to get that deck welded, and I have an old softball buddy that's gonna take care of that for me. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and watch these videos. Watch hours are what I mostly need right now, and I need probably about another couple of 100 subscribers to get me to the next level on YouTube. But thanks for all your help in that. Peace out.